Knight Masters. Knight Masters are warriors for hire who specialize in the crossbow. They get their name because they do a lot of their work at night when it's hard to find them. Knight Masters work a lot with Paladins as they are hired many times to dispose of an evil being or ruler. Knight Masters are not evil, and they do not go on random acts of murder and violence or kill anyone for money. They have a meticulous code that lets them decide if the job is honorable or not. Due to their proficiency with the crossbow, the Knight Master can load and shoot his crossbow, usually a double-decker, a crossbow with 2 arrows, each turn. He does not need a turn to reload. The magic that a Knight Master has helps him, her, to be stealthier and to hit his target more often. They have the mana for 13 spell slots. A Knight Master is of average height and build. He is as strong as a warrior, and his clothing is the clothing of a warrior, colored to blend into the surroundings. Knight Masters use light armor. Everything about him, her, is so average that they seem to blend in with those around them. A good starting outfit for a Knight Master is a nice double-decker crossbow, 2 short swords, and 2 quivers of bolts, 20 bolts each quiver. The following spells the Knight Master starts with. Enhanced Stealth. Caster can move more quietly and is harder to detect. Duration is dice dependent. Speed doubles a character's speed. Duration is dice dependent. The maximum number of actions is 4 per turn. Trip Lever. A trap is set in the caster's choosing, in which a line is laid across, and anyone breaking the line will be struck by 10 crossbow bolts simultaneously. Duration is dice dependent. Some of the spells that a Knight Master may get are minor spells. Disguise. The caster can take the disguise of anyone she has ever seen. Duration is dice dependent. Belt Claw. The target can pull a whip with a large claw attached to the end out of the crossbow. This claw will allow the user to scale walls or stop themselves when falling. Duration is dice dependent. Stone Bow. The shooter's crossbow turns to stone to be able to deflect or crush enemies with it. In this form, the crossbow will still be able to fire bolts. Duration is dice dependent. Binding. The caster pulls out a magical string from their pack that can tie up anyone, including clerics. Duration is dice dependent. Accuracy. The caster's arrows will hit the mark with a roll of 10 or better. Silence. An area of quiet surrounds the target in the size, square feet, of 1 roll of the die. Duration is dice dependent. Mark. The caster makes it so that she knows where the target is at all times. Duration is dice dependent. The caster has to have seen the target sometime in the past. Tumbler. The target can dodge all non-magical attacks while the spell is active. Duration is dice dependent. Mid-level spells. Peg and Hole. A hole opens up under the target, and when they fall in it, a large peg blocks the opening. Duration is dice dependent. Strop. A band of metal forms in the shooter's hands, from which they can cast out bolts twice as fast as normal. Duration is dice dependent. Bracing Bolt. The shooter's bolt, if hit, automatically knocks the target off their feet. Duration is dice dependent. Broadhead Bolt. The shooter's bolt gains a 6-inch wide broadhead arrow on it, which, if it enters the target, will pop open with 4 3-inch blades while inside the target. Bear Bow. The arrow hits the target without the caster having to aim. You can also shoot around corners when the spell is active. Duration is dice dependent. Bolt Arms. The target's arm turns into self-reloading crossbows, and they can shoot up to 6 bolts a turn. Duration is dice dependent. Barrel Crossbow. While active, the target can shoot 8 crossbow bolts a turn, as from the barrel of a gun. Duration is dice dependent. Loose. The target's hands shake so much that they are not able to use any ranged weapons. Duration is dice dependent. String Protection. The crossbow string will fly out like a whip and deflect oncoming range attacks. Duration is dice dependent. Weight in Hand. The opponent's weapons will suddenly weigh 2 tons each, causing them to drop them. Duration is dice dependent. Major Spells. Windage. The shooter controls the flight of the crossbow bolt with their mind. Duration is dice dependent. Stirrup. A magical saddle appears in the target's hands, and any animal or creature that it is placed on will obey the rider. Duration is dice dependent. The target must be big enough to ride. Ballista. The bolt hits with the power of a ballista bolt. Armbrust. The bolt shoots forth with the speed of a bullet. Duration is dice dependent. Spine shot. The shooter's bolt hits the target's spine. Pool zone. The target, if hit, gets knocked unconscious. Slur bow. The target cannot pronounce any words when hit, and in the case of a wizard, will no longer be able to use spells. Duration is dice dependent. Firebolt. The caster's arrow is changed to a bolt of fire when it leaves the crossbow. This catches the target on fire on impact. Ice bolt. The caster's arrow is changed to a bolt of ice when it leaves the crossbow. This freezes the target on impact. Lightning bolt. The caster's arrow is changed to a bolt of lightning when it leaves the crossbow. Sear. Whichever part of the target the caster chooses will catch on fire if hit with the bolt. Living tattoo. The caster causes an image to appear on the target, and this image comes alive and attacks the target. Duration is dice dependent. Flight. The caster can fly. Duration is dice dependent. Blink. The caster can move from one point to another instantly. The caster must see the starting and ending points. Invisibility. Caster vanishes from the sight for a certain time. Duration is dice dependent. Invisibly. The caster cannot be detected by magic or non-magic means. If the caster attacks or does magic, then the spell is broken.